It's an AMPEX AX-50, which, from what I've been able to gather online, was actually built by Hitachi. Hitachi, of course, famous for rice cookers. They made some real kick-ass rice cookers. Okay. Tell you, I usually like to put a bit more prep into my videos, but in this case, necessity has forced my hand. Scott the Media Hoarder, I was doing some transfers yesterday of 1/4-inch reel-to-reel tape on this machine. It's a AMPEX AX-50, AMPEX AX-50 that I picked up about 4 months ago, and I was transferring some old tapes from the CBC. They were mentioned in an earlier video on my YouTube channel. Things were working great. I was getting some interesting recordings off there, but then this thing started to act up. And today, I play it, and blah. So it starts, and then it goes, yeah. So what am I going to do? Am I going to send it away to fix it? I don't think so. I don't think it's that fancy a machine that I want a professional monkeying with it. Do I know how to fix it? No, I don't. I've never fixed a machine like this, but I watch YouTube videos enough that I've seen the insides of machines a lot lately. Some of them are super expert engineer types who can take capacitors off and replace them on site. That's not me. Some of them are people who just look inside and go, oh, this looks broken, and then they try to fix it. That's going to be my approach today. You and I might learn a few things together, or you might end up screaming at your computer of what I should be doing. So let's take a look inside. So the problem I'm having is this. If I go from idle to play, yeah, did you hear that? Because I've got it wired in for sound. It starts, it goes blah, and then it goes wrong. The machine doesn't know that I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to behave as though I know exactly what I'm doing, and maybe we'll get to the end. Oh, that's not so bad. That's the end of the tape. The boxes for these tapes smell so musty, stinky. Or maybe it's this tape recorder. Okay, so power off. We'll unplug this thing, I guess. Oh, geez, that's a lot of screws. This thing gets pretty warm. So what do I see? I see screws. 1, 2. Are these screwed on? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those look like big screws. This looks like it's holding on the speaker. Should I try getting the back off first? I suspect, based on some videos I've seen, that the guts are actually in the front. So that what I need to do is to take off the front faceplate. That will involve taking off knobs. Really? Oh, with a little jiggle, it comes off. What is that? That takes off. These knobs? You guys knows? I don't know. This might be overkill. I should get a bowl for these. There's no cats. There won't be in there. No, that takes me knob. Whoopsie. What else can come off? Like this thing comes off. Oh, looky! So see if I can remember this from school, that we have 3 heads here. We're going to have, well, the tape comes through this way. This is the take-up reel over here. So it's going to go over this spinny thing, which has a name. This is an erase head. So it's going to wipe out whatever's on the tape. It's just a straight electromagnet, so it's going to wipe the tape clean before it gets to the record head, which will, use an electromagnet to place the signal on the tape. And this is probably the play head. It will read the electromagnetic signal on the tape and then send it on for processing. Between all these things, the tape goes through this path. This rubber thing here is critical because it connects via pressure to this, which spins and drives the tape through. And it's only kind of loosely being pulled through by the take-up reel. This is only there to spool the tape on. The real action is usually right here. I think they call this the pinch roller, and this is the capstan. So now all the knobs are off the front. I can start trying to pull the front off. Let's unscrew this. It's just one little teeny tiny screw. Nobody's gonna be hurt by that. I'm gonna put that inside the little head cover thing. It's come off now. Yes, it does! Woohoo! We have guts. We have guts. There's the guts. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ah, the other one's falling off too. Bleh. Oh gosh. There's foam. There's like foam rubber pads that they were on. Let's appreciate the insides of this thing, shall we? This is the first time I'm seeing the inside of this unit. This is so different from looking at, say, the inside of a modern television. If you've ever cracked one of those things open, it fell off again. There's not much in there. Really, there's a circuit board. And then you open up something like this and like, it's all guts. It's all mechanical. It's just pulleys and wires and springs and gobs of old... I hate that. I like this machine because it has VU meters. I don't want them falling off. Stop it. Stop deteriorating in front of my eyes. I think I'm going to need a cola and study this thing before I can explain a darn thing to you. Do you ever go into something thinking, I don't know what I'm doing? And then you do it and you realize, I know more than I thought I did. I'm having one of those right now. I'm glad I opened this sucker up and had a look inside. So let's have a look inside. Yeah, I'm barely a few sips into my cola, and I think I've figured out how this thing works. Keep in mind, I have not powered it back up yet to see if my hypothesis is correct. So let's go through the knobs and buttons and whatnot on this thing. Inputs and outputs. This thing has 2 tracks you can record to. You can record to them independently, and you can record sound on sound as well. Is this all fact? No. Am I making this up? No, I figured this out by looking at it. There are no user manuals anywhere online for this thing that I can find, not even for sale. Well, I mean, if I want to buy a whole nother unit, there's a couple for sale with manuals. So these things have fallen off now that I've taken the faceplate off. There was foam rubber stuck on here, and it's kind of gooey. Yuck. This is my favorite part, honestly, other than the fact that it's a reel-to-reel machine. I like things with VU meters on them. These are microphone input levels. These are potentiometers. They usually have knobs in the front of them. Big old record knob doesn't just activate a circuit. It doesn't seem to do anything, actually. But I think there's an LED over top of it. And I would bet that it's an old red one, not one of the newfangled bright blue ones. We have a series of switches. No surprise. The faceplate tells me that these are switches for source. So what are we going to listen to? We're going to listen to the tape, or we're going to listen to the microphones plugged in. Echo, on or off. Haven't tried that. That could be fun. Really? Okay. What kind of echo? Like, there's no knobs to adjust the saturation or delay length or... okay. S with S or S on S, it's sound on sound. Do you remember Les Paul? He invented that whole... Well, I don't know if he invented it, but... Okay, I'm going to put a thing on the bottom of the screen. Did Les Paul invent sound on sound? Oh, really? Why that? No kidding. Okay. Filter. What is being filtered? I don't know. I'm leaving the filter off because I want the sound that comes out of the machine, not some filtered version of it. This is the power knob. And they all attach to these switches down here. This is nothing. What is this, just a pressure thing to determine whether the faceplate is plugged in? It doesn't seem to do anything. We have a tape speed knob that lets us select the tape speed, which is how fast the tape goes past the heads. That gives us a few options. I notice it doesn't go up to 15 frames a second. I am used to using 15 frames. I'm sorry, inches per second. That's the speed that we used in broadcasting, unless we were trying to save tape, and then we went to 7.5. The faster the tape speed, as with VCRs, the faster the tape speed, the more bandwidth you get, so the better sound quality. So what happens if I turn this knob? That was my question. So what settings? So I'm at the 7.5 right now. I can turn it to the next one and the next one. So what moves? We observe that this moves some levers here, and what are they adjusting? They are moving this rubber wheel, which is a rubber wheel that spins on 3 different knurled knob parts of this gear thing. Rubber wheel. Rubber wheel appears to be driven by this big old flywheel here, big heavy wheel. My hypothesis is that this flywheel, when I put it into play, makes contact with the rubber donut. Rubber donut drives this, which turns, for one thing, turns these, the take up and play reels. It moves this belt, which turns the feed reel. This one is moved by, I don't know, something. Is these knobs? The tape counter moves when this band goes. And then, oh, that made a nice sound. Okay, obviously some of this stuff needs cleaning. There's gunge. There's also some greasy spots that could probably do with some relubricating. I don't know how much action this machine has seen, so I don't exactly know what kind of grease it is. The posts I read online about this particular line of machines says that one of the biggest problems is hobbyists using the wrong kind of lubricant. So being an ignorant hobbyist, who I hope has figured out how this machine works inside, I don't want to mess it up further. So let's plug in, power on, and my hypothesis is that this spinny wheel here is not contacting this thing too well. This is the rubberiest of the rubber things that I can find in here, other than the belts. And based on what little I know about these things, the rubberiest thing, kind of like these foam rubber goop monsters down here, the rubberiest thing is going to be the first thing to go. Meantime, I'm going to clean up a bit of the gunge. We'll plug in and be right back. And here it is, all tidied up. There was quite a bit of black, rubbery looking dust on stuff, so I have a hunch that's our culprit. I cleaned the tape path with some rubbing alcohol and Q-tips. I made sure not to touch the pinch roller. Well, it got touched, but I didn't scrub it with the alcohol. But all the other metal parts along the tape path, I gave it a good cleaning. And it's plugged in, so let's see what happens. Okay, I didn't turn the power on. Let's try that. Okay, did I plug it in? It's plugged in. Okay. Oh, I wonder if this thing down here that looked like it did nothing earlier, I wonder if that's some kind of thing to make sure the case is on. No, it's not even idling. The power switch, not the power switch? Oh, that's the power switch! Dig it. Okay. Okay. These things didn't line up the way I thought they did. So that's the power switch. It's not just some kind of pressy thing. Okay. It's in idle mode now. It sounds a little quieter. Should this thing not be spinning? Should I not touch that? Okay, so it went roar again. So where's it stopping? Where's the roar stop? Let me just listen to it. Hey. Not that. It's just catching my eye because it's wobbly. That's turning like it should. That's turning like it should. That's turning... Please tell me I don't have to open the back of this thing. How about fast forward? Even that only goes for a bit. Oh, hello. I noticed this thing going up and down in time with the off and on. And when it's up, it goes up to speed. Ooh, moment of discovery. Okay. So that thing, I think, is supposed to judge whether there's enough slack on the tape. Because when the tape goes through on the tape path, it pulls this up. But not hard. It just kind of floats a little bit there. And then when it goes down... Okay, so now I want to load some tape on this thing and see what it does. All right, let's load up take-up reel. This tape says major human ecology. August 10th, 1973. Oh, turn it off first. Okay. Oh, there it is idling again. So I'm going to say the tape path is through here. Is it not? Pull that through a little bit. Give it a couple winds. And I did not do that right. Do that a bit more. All right. So this turns. Da-de-da. It pulls the tape from the feed reel to the take-up reel across the tape heads. So when I engage it, I expect this thing is going to push down. But if there's not enough force taking up the tape, it might just push it down and make a mess. So let's see if that's what's happening. I forgot a very important thing. This happened to me yesterday. I forgot to put the other knobby thing. Little hub. Right. Okay, let's try this again. Let's give it a go. Brings up to speed. Oh! I forgot something. It's not plugged in. It's plugged in to power, but these boys need to go into the back end of this. So, here, don't look at my butt. Okay, it's plugged in now. Let's go.
You want a good time? A pink prince descended from frogs. Tell me how deep it goes, and baby, I'm yours. You want a black eye, and cheap wine, a champagne, a soft grind, double gate swinging on your garage. Tell me how deep it goes, and baby, I'm yours. You want
Okay, well, so it works. Now it's all disassembled and it worked, but I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to make it work. I hate when things work like this. I mean, I like the things work. What made it work? Is it going to stop working again soon? If it does, I'm not entirely sure what I did to fix it, but it works now. That's a good sign. That's happened so many times with computers where something has just gone wrong. Everything stopped working. I tried all the typical things I do to make it work. None of those work. Then I start trying some far-fetched ideas, but I try 2 or 3 at a time, and then one of them works. And then next time it goes bad, I can't remember what it is I did to fix it. But I learned a few things here. Lesson number 1 is, yes, I can open a piece of electronic equipment and not destroy it. I'm speaking too soon. Usually I have a hard time putting things back together. But this is good. This is a good step. I still think it had something to do with that rubber donut. But evidence seems to point to the little dangly slack detector. So hopefully in future we'll hear more of what's on these tapes, and I'll tell you more about the story of where they're from and why I'm even doing this. Remember, what gets recorded gets remembered. But maybe not if your playback machines don't work. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing, and we'll be back again with more adventures in the future involving the past.